Hello Internet, it's Jessica. I just got a copy of Necromunda Underhive and I'm going to film my unboxing of it. Mostly you're probably going to just see my hands and the product because the product is really the interesting part. So here we go. Okay, here is the box itself. It is an incredibly heavy box. Like, oh my goodness, this is what happens to it when I try to pick it up. It just goes full on tilt there, really heavy. And it's quite a thick box too, so just lie that down so you can have a look-see. The box comes with Team Escher, or House Escher, and House Goliath. It says Brutal Gang Warfare in the 41st Millennium. It's got really beautiful art. This art was also featured as a full cover on the White Dwarf magazine issue for that month. And yeah, it's really cool. So let's. I'm gonna just skip the video. You don't care about the plastic wrap, duh. So I'll just take that off. Be right back. Okay, I got the plastic wrap off. In the process of that, I flipped the box upside down. So I'm gonna just show you quickly the back of the box. Again, some similar art that you can see from the other sides of the box there. It's also got an example of how you might put together some of your miniatures. One of the reasons why I was so excited about this set was the minis, of course. These ones are incredibly customizable. You've got thousands of options in terms of how many different types of minis you can end up making. So yeah, super exciting about that. You got 10 on Team Goliath, 10 on Team Escher. Let's flip, hit a button there. Let's flip this back around. Sweet. And get her open. So this might be difficult because I think I only have one hand to help me with this. Yeah, but I got her. Ooh, fancy right off the bat. Here we go. I love looking at sprues. Their details are fantastic. Okay, so first of all, you've got your measuring tools. It helps you with blast radius and when you have different devices, what their area of effect is going to be depending upon the distance. Basically fancy rulers, but yay, fancy rulers. Okay, yes, it's a game that involves math. To show off the sprues, I'm just going to put it on my table here. Yeah, look at all of that. This is what I mean, full-on customization here. You've got a ton of weapons. If I was to guess, I'd say that this is Team Escher's stuff, because it's got the wild and crazy hair, and the weapons are daintier. Maybe a bit more pointy, actually, would be a better thing to say. Very violent stuff that they've got. We've got more stuff for Team Escher from the looks of it. Actually, if I was to guess, they look almost identical. Probably identical. Yeah, they're the same sprue. Okay, so we've got double that. It's possible we've got double that for Team Goliath here as well, I'm noticing. So there's this sprue. Oh yeah, look at that, this sprue. Looks the same. Very much the same. Yeah, I've maybe got it a little bit upside down there. There we go. There, now you can behold the similitude. Okay, let's put these ones aside. Just gonna put them in the lid. Ta-da! Okay, we've got, because this box comes with some terrain, it's got barricades. It's basically a two-dimensional game. You end up playing on tile board, and then you've got walls. This game revolves around doors like you wouldn't believe. It's all about tactics, doors. This is basically very fancy chess with doors and traps. One of the things they added in apparently is when you end up finding these caches, you open them up and you can find different things inside them, be it weapons or what have you. So there's rules for that. So let's put that back inside the box lid. And we've got some examples of how to customize your minifigs on a lovely sheet of paper here. It's a nice piece of card, coated card. You've got color painting options as well. They show you for both teams. Team Escher is decorated with feathers and pelts, stuff that you can get off-world. And the Team Goliath, they're big brutal guys. They like to basically decorate or repurpose their stuff from the furnace. So they're all about wearing heavy leather to protect themselves from immeasurable heat. We've got cards. Sweet cards. This helps you during gameplay. Got a really nice looking back. Got the weathered looking steel. You can also paint your doors and such to look like this. Dice. I am such a huge fan of dice. They're black and yellow there. That reminds me of Team Escher for sure. I've got a bag here that is empty. That's interesting. An empty bag. I've also got little tiny things here that are from one of the sprues that just fell off. I never worry when I see loose stuff like this. Here is the bases for your figures. For your fancier figures, you can of course use the bigger bases. For your less fancy figures, the tinier ones will do. Another empty bag, just helping for sorting and assuming for later. Here we have a thick rule book. At some point in the video, I'm going to stop and come back to the book after it's been unwrapped so I can tell you how many pages this bad boy is, because when you have a back that's not pictures and it's just words, that kind of tells you something about how complicated the gameplay might be. This is like super advanced chess, like really fancy. We've got a lot of tokens here on cardstock. I'll come back to that again after I get the plastic off to show you how thick these little guys are. And basically look like they're forming out tokens or coins there. Probably tokens, I would guess. And I also heard that there was going to be this lovely ruler in there. Now this looks like a lot of fun. You could probably use this inner box as the way to play here. I thought that there were going to be game tiles that were loose, but I'm guessing that the game tiles are in with the tokens. So yeah, I'm going to have to take this plastic off real quick. This box is really gorgeous though, all of the art. I was not expecting the inside of the box to be like this. It's really quite pretty. I love all the detail. I'm just going to get in here so you can see some of that. Like just the weathering and the icons and the grates and the lighting and just everything. Like it looks really, really cool. So anyway, I'll be right back with more details on the book first. Okay, and here we are back with the rule book. It is now out of its fancy plastic wrap. I was somewhat wrong. That last page that I thought was all words is actually not attached to the book. It is a lovely sheet that you can use for reference during gameplay, which is excellent. Like I said, the rules are going to be complicated when you have a book that is 105 pages long. That is a pretty hefty rule book, but the nice thing about a rule book that is this big is that it includes lots of gorgeous pictures that can help you understand the backstory and all of the lovely nuances of each of the houses. There are more houses than just Escher and Goliath, of course. House Orlok has been released. I don't have that one purchased. I did want to get the core game first. Lots of beautiful detailed art things you might run into in Underhive. And details on the weaponry. There's also an expanded rules book that allows you to play the game on three-dimensional terrain. Right now, though, again, I'm just dealing with the core book. This is one side and the other side, 2 sheets of paper. And as you can see, they are identical. Again, behold the similitude. Okay, setting that aside, I'm going to unwrap this and be right back. Okay, so I'm back to that lovely thick cardstock. So we are looking at the chipboard tiles, and they are huge, which is wonderful, like size of my hand. I have a 6.5 size ring there, so you can get an idea of how the length of my fingers might actually work. Oh wait, ruler, duh, ruler. Ruler in hand. There you go. That'll help out. That's like an inch each square. Okay, so we've got nice, big, beautiful tiles, as you can see. And they change on the other side, so you can build and customize a lot of sets. Those people out there who have played Zombicide, you know exactly how these work. Yes, I have played Zombicide, and I love it, and my friends have played it, and they love it too. Just flipping through them quickly to give you an idea of what they all kind of look like on either side. There's already a lot of options on how you can attach these. They remind me of a sewer system that I had in a RPG tabletop I ran for 3 years for when you got lost in sewers. That's really cool. The depth, and then this little bridge. Oh, that looks so precarious. That's going to be so much fun to play with. Look at that. Not real, it's trompe l'oeil, but man, a lot of fun that. So as I was saying, the chipboard here, the tokens, they just punch out, give you an idea how thick they are. So that's the thickness coming at you. Whoa. Okay, so yeah, we've got health token, evidently, because your characters are only going to have so much health, so you can use this to help track it. They can travel along with your guy. Apparently you can also mark when they're on fire. Yeah, fun stuff like that. We've got like flash shield. I think these are other measuring devices. Really cool stuff in terms of the icons details. I love how bright it looks on the camera. That just looks stunningly bright. So you know this is going to photograph well. because it's videoing that well right now. Just really nice stuff. I'm going to get into the dice, how they roll, because I'm a geek like that. I love how dice roll. And the cards, so they'll both be open when I come back. Okie dokie, so I am back, and I realized that this wonderful board, if it's not being used for play in game, it can of course be utilized as a wonderful dice tray. I am a total geek when it ends up coming to dice. I love seeing how they roll. They aren't going to be very precise to roll, of course, because they're really, really rounded. The more rounded a dice is, the less random it's going to be when it rolls. But for all intents and purposes, sometimes when you're rolling a bunch all at once, that doesn't even matter anymore anyways. There have been times where I have been able to trick shot, but I can't always. It's one of those things. They call it the luck of the draw, or, you know, the roll of the dice, right? But, yeah, you may end up finding with rounded dice like the kind that come with the game, or the ones that you buy separately, that you might be able to kind of do multiple rolls of the same result, if you get good at it, just because that's what happens with round dice. Same thing with, you know, your usual d6s. Not so much a thing that you can really do there, because personally I like dice, and there isn't another way to get this kind of die with the kind of features where you've got the fancy engraved on it, especially when you're talking about one like this. So I mean, that's cool. I did open the cards up. I do like the fact, by the way, that they are yellow and black. It's pretty much the Team Escher colors. Onto the cards. So here we go. Boop, boop, boop. Looking for ones where there are pictures. Looks like I'm getting close. Oh, don't want to miss any, but boy, there's a lot of these. Okay, so one of the things about Necromunda that I should point out, considering that you have these cards and you're like, why are there so many of these? It's because your characters gain experience in this game. I know, right? That is so cool. So after you beat a level, your survivors gain XP that you can spend on upgraded abilities. So you can, and then these are your special abilities and some names that are already written onto the cards, so you can use those, and then you can make up new ones. So you can see that these are all examples. I was hoping that there'd be like pictures on the cards for some reason, just because I'm a geek about art. There isn't really. Oh look, Last Gasp. That looks interesting. Let's have a look at that card. Okay, so we've got play this card when one of your active fighters is taken out of action. So you've got stuff like that that'll add some random elements into the game. If you are able to draw these before your play, I'm guessing that it'll add another element of strategy. Again, like really souped up chess, if you want to look at it that way. Another thing is this is less skirmish than what you might be used to in Warhammer. What happens with the team of 10 is one character goes on your team, and then one character goes on the opposite team, and then back and forth. You don't actually move your entire group all at once. It's back and forth like that, which is really, really interesting. So I'm really looking forward to playing this. I don't have any example gameplay yet, obviously, because this is brand spanking new to me, but really excited. Next step is, of course, to assemble my crews and get all the house figures put together, and then start painting them. So there'll be some step-by-steps for that, I'm sure, in picture format. I don't like doing speed lapse painting. So yeah, thanks very much. Again, just to give you an idea what's coming up, I'll be working on assembling something that will eventually resemble perhaps these figures, maybe something different. Thanks much. Bye-bye.